My name is Selena Lawson, and if you had asked me 7 years ago what family meant, I would have said, it's the one place where you're always safe. But I was wrong. 7 years ago, on a cold Thanksgiving night, I walked out of my family's house with just $200, a suitcase, and a heart so heavy it felt like I was leaving a part of myself behind. I remember standing at the door for a few extra seconds, not because I didn't want to leave, but because I was waiting for someone, anyone, to stop me. To say, Selena, don't go. To say, we were wrong. To say, you matter. But the house stayed silent. The same house that once echoed with laughter now felt like it had erased me completely. So I opened the door, stepped out into the cold, and quietly closed it behind me. That sound, that soft click of the door shutting, it didn't just end a night. It ended a lifetime. The cracks in the foundation. For a long time, I kept asking myself the same question. How did it get this bad? Because the truth is, things don't break overnight. They crack slowly, silently, until one day, everything falls apart. Growing up, I always felt like I had to earn my place. My mother believed in control more than love. She didn't hug us. She managed us. Every word we spoke, every choice we made, had to fit her version of perfect. And I never did. My sister, Emily, she was everything I wasn't. Confident, charming, effortless. She knew how to say the right things, smile at the right time, and most importantly, she knew how to stay on our mother's good side. I used to admire her, until I realized she wasn't just playing the game. She was winning it. At my expense. There were small things at first, blame that somehow always landed on me, arguments that twisted until I became the problem, moments where I questioned my own memory, because everyone else seemed so sure I was wrong, even when I knew I wasn't. And my father? He saw it. I know he did, but he never stepped in. Maybe he thought staying quiet kept the peace. But silence doesn't fix anything. It just chooses a side. The loss of light, the only person who ever saw me clearly, was my grandmother. She didn't care if I was perfect. She didn't compare me to anyone. With her, I didn't have to earn love. I just had it. And maybe that's why losing her broke me more than anything else ever could. After she passed away, the house changed. It felt colder, heavier, like whatever little warmth existed left with her. That's when the whispers started. Conversations that stopped when I entered. Eyes that looked at me differently, like I had done something wrong, even though I had no idea what. The night everything collapsed is something I'll never forget. We were sitting at the dinner table, the air already tense, and then suddenly, Emily slammed her hand on the table. Why didn't you tell us about the inheritance? The room went silent. I remember blinking, confused. What are you talking about? But no one believed me. Not even for a second. My mother's face hardened. Stop lying, Selena. We know everything. But they didn't. And they didn't care to. In that moment, the truth didn't matter. The story they believed was enough. The breaking point, what hurt the most, wasn't the accusation. It was how easy it was for them to turn on me, like they had been waiting for a reason. My sister cried like she had been betrayed. My brother looked at me like I was a stranger. And my father, he looked down at his plate and said nothing. That silence, it echoed louder than any words ever could, because that was the moment I realized I was completely alone. That night, something inside me broke. Not loudly, not dramatically, just quietly, like a thread snapping. I stopped trying to explain, stopped begging them to listen, because you can't make people hear you. when they've already decided you're wrong. So I went to my room, packed a small suitcase, folded my clothes slowly, like I was delaying the inevitable, hoping maybe someone would knock on the door. But no one did. When I walked out of that house, I didn't feel strong. I didn't feel brave. I felt empty, like I was walking away from everything I had ever known, into nothing. The long road back, the first night, I slept in my car. I remember wrapping my arms around myself, trying to stay warm, trying not to cry. But I did, because no matter how much they hurt me, they were still my family. And losing them felt like losing a part of my identity. The first year was survival, nothing more. Every day was about making it to the next one. I worked wherever I could. Waitress, cleaner, receptionist. Sometimes all at once. I learned how to stretch $10 for days, how to smile when I was exhausted, how to keep going, even when I felt like giving up. There were moments I almost went back, moments where I picked up my phone, thinking maybe if I apologized, even for something I didn't do, they would take me back. But deep down, I knew the truth. Going back wouldn't fix anything. It would just break me again. Slowly, life started to change. Not suddenly, not magically, but step by step. I got a stable job, then a better one. I started learning new skills, spending late nights studying instead of crying, building something, piece by piece. And for the first time in my life, my success wasn't tied to anyone else's approval. It was mine. The final truth. Years passed, and something unexpected happened. The pain started to fade. Not completely, but enough. Enough for me to breathe. Enough for me to feel peace. I built a life I never thought I could have. A place that felt like home. Not because of the people in it, but because of how it made me feel. Safe, calm, free. Then one day, I learned the truth. The inheritance was real, and it was always meant for me. My grandmother had chosen me, not because I was better, but because she saw me, really saw me. My sister knew. She tried to take it, and when she couldn't, she created a story, a lie that turned everyone against me. And they believed it, without question. 7 years, that's how long it took for them to reach out. And even then, it wasn't because they missed me. It was because they needed something. The phone calls came suddenly, one after another, relentless. By the time I checked, there were 43 voicemails. I listened to them all, every single one, hoping, just once, I would hear the words I had waited 7 years for. I'm sorry, but they never came. And in that moment, everything became clear. I wasn't angry anymore. I wasn't hurt anymore. I was free because I finally understood. I didn't need their apology. I didn't need their approval. I didn't need them, so I didn't call back. I didn't respond. I didn't reopen a door. That nearly destroyed me. Because sometimes, the strongest thing you can do is nothing at all. 7 years ago, I walked away with nothing. Today, I have everything I need. Not because someone gave it to me, but because I built it. On my own. And if there's one thing I've learned, it's this. Sometimes the people who are supposed to love you will hurt you the most. But that doesn't mean you stay. It means you choose yourself, even when it's hard, even when it hurts, even when it feels like the whole world is against you. Because one day, you'll look back and realize walking away was the moment your life truly began.